As a member of JCRStudios, I decided to ask costume designer Alex how she came about to choose the costumes for the characters of Envision. So, why did you decide on Stuart's costume as old, tatty clothes?
A stereotype of drug addicts and alcoholics is that they have little money and that the only thing they spend their money on is drugs and alcohol. Therefore, it would be assumed that Stuart would not have any money to spend on clothes, and all that would be available to him is old, worn clothes that he's owned for a long time. An example of a character like Stuart is Mark Renton from Trainspotting. Costume designer Rachel Fleming chose Mark's costume as old jeans and a plain t-shirt so it wouldn't cost him much money.
I see, that's quite clever. How did you get the costume for Stuart?
Well, Stuart's occupation is actually a builder, so it was quite easy for me to find old tatty clothes for him to wear as his costume. Most of Stuart's work clothes are actually worn with gaping holes in them, which highlights the fact that new luxury clothes aren't actually available for him.
What influenced you to choose the colours that you did for Stuart's costume?
Well, I thought that his hoodie should be black because of the connotations of the colour, so many people associate it with someone who's unfriendly or inappropriate, which are just some opinions that people have of drug addicts.
Will Stuart's costume help to enhance him as a character?
That was my intention as I chose his costume. I hope that if his costume fit the role of a drug addict, then he would find it easier to conform to that role. If, for example, he was dressed in a suit or something, then he wouldn't be as convincing of a character. I feel that having a good costume really makes an actor feel comfortable in the role that they're playing.
What costumes did you choose for Blake to wear?
Well, as Blake is a villain, I didn't want him to look too suspicious, yet I still wanted him to fit the conventions of a villain that's playing a murderer. So I decided that he should be dressed in all black, yet the clothes he should be wearing should be very everyday, casual clothes so that he doesn't stand out too much. I dressed Blake in a black hoodie, black jeans and black trainers.
Why did you decide that Blake's costume should be black?
Well, black as a colour tends to be quite mysterious and suggests that there's a fear of the unknown. So for Lily, there definitely is a fear of the unknown, as Blake has suddenly appeared behind her armed with a knife. And black is often associated with death and evil actions, which fits the role of Blake quite well. Although black is quite harsh, it's not really a bright colour, so it means that it won't make him stand out to anyone that might see him.
If this costume didn't work out when filming, did you have any other options for Blake's costume?
I had a few other ideas, but I knew that this costume would suit the role of Blake perfectly. So all the costumes that I did have in mind were very simple, everyday clothes, because it just fits with the role of him. And I always knew that I wanted him to wear a hoodie because people tend to associate big baggy hoodies with suspicious acts of violence or someone of threat. So having a hoodie on means that Blake is able to hide his identity, which he would want to do considering the crime he's about to commit. And when people walk past someone wearing a hoodie, they sort of tend to become a bit apprehensive as they can't see what kind of person is hiding underneath the hood.
That's true.
Which is the vibe I wanted to create with Blake.
How did you decide what costume Lily should wear in Envision?
As the victim, Lily's costume was probably the easiest to put together because in the film, Lily is simply minding her own business on a walk through the countryside to meet her friend. So she didn't suspect that anything would happen to her on her walk, therefore her costume should just be very everyday clothes of a woman Lily's age. As the film set in early winter, I decided Lily should be dressed in warm clothes like a big coat, a scarf and boots to highlight that she had no idea what was going to happen to her.
Do you think this costume makes her a believable character?
Definitely. As I said, Lily's costume fits entirely with the role of the type of person she is. Her everyday clothes shows that when she left the house, she was completely oblivious to the events that were going to happen to her. If she were to be sort of wearing clothes that disguised her, the audience may feel that she knew what was going to happen, but on the other hand, if she were to be dressed in over-the-top clothes, it wouldn't be believable that she was simply on a walk to meet her friend.
Was Lily's costume easy to put together or not?
Yeah, it was quite easy because I just had to make her look like your average 20-year-old woman. So I headed to high street shops that are targeted to women of that age, and as I was there it was easy to put the costume together.
Last but not least, have you enjoyed working with us at JCRStudios on our new film Envision?
Definitely, it's been so much fun because I think that it's such a different creative plot for a film. There's nothing like I've ever had to design costumes for before.
Thank you so much for talking to us,
Thank
Alex. We hope you've all enjoyed learning about the creativity that's gone behind creating convincing and realistic characters for our new film Envision. We hope you enjoyed this video.
Thank you.